I got a good feeling about Queta. There's another reason why he needs to get more minutes besides his own development, though, and that is that we need to be resting Horford and Porzingis going into the playoffs. I mentioned this on Twitter a couple of times in a couple of different posts. Like, I'm literally down to rest Horford like 15, 20 games the rest of the season. Porzingis 10, 15 games. Like, a lot of people think it's crazy, like they're not going to have rhythm, but rhythm has been established now. I think it's probably, Joe's call as an experienced, sorry, not that experienced, but being around these guys every day, knowing how to keep their rhythm, how much we're going to play them. But I would really almost shut down Horford for the rest of the regular season and really, really rest Porzingis. And maybe the week or 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the regular season, you start ramping them back up. They do not need to be playing the majority of the rest of our games. They really don't. We need them fully healthy, and I think that people say, oh, you don't want them to miss too many games, and that's a legitimate fear. But I also think that NBA guys can get into rhythm quickly once they've already played 50 games, like a month ago. I think that health is most important for this, and we're not going to lose the first round series if these guys aren't fully in rhythm. If Tatum, Brown, White, and Holiday are fully in rhythm when we're playing our first round series, we're not losing that fucking series. If it takes Porzingis and Horford to get to that series to get in rhythm for the rest of the playoffs, I'd rather have that than risk injury with them. You know what I mean? These are tough decisions for Missoula, but I really would love to see Queta just getting a lot of opportunities, starting a shitload of games or playing 30 minutes the rest of the season. We have a 4.5 game lead right now in the East. Again, I don't think that spelling Porzingis and Horford a lot jeopardizes that lead. We have a good enough roster at the wing and guard spot that if we have Kornet and Queta, and also our schedule is allegedly the easiest remaining in the NBA, which is, I still, like as Tatum said, don't see when that's starting. But it's my belief that we can hold on to the number 1 seed without using much of Porzingis and Horford the rest of the season. And people are going to say, oh, well, you've shown this season that when Porzingis is out, we're terrible. Not quite. I mean, we clearly need him to win a title against Denver or the Clippers. But if we're playing a lot of NBA teams, the majority of NBA teams who are on our schedule for the rest of the season, we should be able to beat without KP. And a lot of those games he'll be playing because he's not going to be completely shut down. So I really just want to emphasize that I'm watching how Missoula handles KP and Horford going into the last post All-Star break, and I'm really watching Queta's development, which I think will be crucial. There's going to be one bench player who hasn't been a priority during the regular season, who's going to need to step up and be available and be good in the playoffs for us to win a championship. It's either going to be Brissett, or it's going to be Queta, or it's going to be Pritchard. But Pritchard's already sort of very much in the rotation and has a lot of responsibility already. I could see him, God forbid, one of Holiday or White getting hurt in this, like Pritchard stepping up and needing to be like really good, and him doing that because he's played in an NBA Finals. But I could also see Queta needing to do that if one of our bigs goes down. So to win a championship, a lot of things happen in the playoffs. Injuries happen, and you always need one guy to step up on your roster. And we need to start giving guys like Brissett and Queta a lot of burn so that they're lathered up for those opportunities when they come, or else we're going to be in trouble. A lot of people are saying that, if any of our top 6 go down, we don't have any chance to win a finals. Why do we look at it that way? Why couldn't we still beat Denver in a finals if we lost Drew Holiday? You don't think Pritchard could step in and play the series of his life, and then Tatum, Brown, White, Porzingis, Horford also play like fucking amazing. Like if those 5 guys are firing on all cylinders, that we can't still pull that off. I think Tatum and Porzingis are the 2 guys that we kind of can't lose. It would really surprise me if we won it all without KP, although I'd still think in my gut that it is possible. Sorry, I thought I lost connection there. It is possible, but especially against a team like Denver, it would be very difficult without KP. And obviously, no Tatum would be near impossible. So we'll see how Joe manages the rotations moving forward for the rest of the season. I think those are the points I have to say about that, and we'll keep an eye on it. Last thing I want to touch on is Malcolm Brogdon briefly. His comments that he didn't feel valued in Boston hit the internet recently. I myself tweeted that this was an immature take by Brogdon, and I stand by that. I think that there was a hierarchy of guards last year. Or was it? I'm losing track. Last year we had Brogdon, Smart, and Derek White. Yeah. We have a completely different team now. The hierarchy was this to people that know ball. White was the best by the end of the season at least, but I think even earlier. White was the best of those 3. He is the best of those 3 still. Derek White was at the top, then Marcus Smart behind him. Smart is obviously incredible defensively, and does what he can on offense. Clutch as hell on offense when you need him to be. But I would argue that at this point, White is better offensively, definitely obviously better offensively and defensively, though. White's just way better than Smart, and he was last year. And then I think Brogdon was 3rd in the pecking order of those 3 players. And I have a hunch that this is exactly how Brad and the Celtics staff sees it. Brogdon is the worst defender of the 3 by far. And I would also argue that he isn't a better offensive player than Derek White. Now Brogdon's 6th man of the year. He's a really fucking good NBA basketball player. And if he wasn't on one of the best team in the NBA, he would stand out more. But he knew what he was signing up for, and I think that it seems like he thought he should have been starting or in competition with Derek White to be starting on the Celtics this season before he got traded, since he was miffed that Missoula announced that White was our starter in the offseason. That allegedly rubbed Brogdon the wrong way. He was the last person to report to training camp. Also, immature move, not a veteran move, and this all stemmed from saltiness regarding the starting point guard job. I think people that know basketball and know talent realize that Derek White is a superior player to Malcolm Brogdon, and he's also a better player for our stars like Brown and Tatum than Brogdon. He complements our star wings better than Brogdon. Brogdon was perfect for what he was for us, a bench scorer. He was perfect for that. He gets downhill. He fucking gets to the line. He's strong offensive guard. He's really fucking good, and I think that it's easy to criticize him right now, but what I'm really trying to acknowledge is that he was valued in Boston. He was loved in Boston. I loved him. Fans loved him. He would have been an integral part of the finals run if we had gotten to the finals. If we had gotten past Miami. I know he was a little banged up in the playoffs, which he's also injury prone, which doesn't help. But the fact that he's saying he wasn't valued, I think, is false, and I think that he would have been even more valued if he bought in more to the selfless culture that is now even more obvious when we have guys like Horford going to the bench, or we have guys like Drew Holiday sacrificing so much just to win a championship. It's easy for Brogdon to be in Portland right now and look back and be bitter. Like, everyone's human, and he's obviously a great person, but I just think he was off on that take, and I wish him the best. And I do hold that he was valued here, and isn't as good of a basketball player as Derek White, Marcus Smart, or Drew Holiday, who are all incredible two-way guards. So that's pretty hard to be better than. So I guess that's really all I have to say about the Brogdon take. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on everything. This podcast is approaching 25 minutes. I think I'm stepping out of bounds for the first one. Can't expect people to be too involved yet. I just wanted to get this started. There'll be some improvements made along the way. I'm going to have guests coming on shortly. So stay tuned for that. Really excited about this Celtics season. I do think we're going to win it all. I have faith in that. And keep following my crazy takes on Twitter. They'll get less crazy as I get more of a following over to the podcast universe, where we can have more balanced discussions. And go Celtics, guys. Good night.